We just got our first trailer for the One Piece live action season 2, and it looks amazing. I was not expecting this to come out for at least another couple months, but I am so glad that it did. In this trailer, there were many details that I want to go over in this video, so that is exactly what I'm gonna do. We first start off with this wide shot of the Red Line, and all I want to say is that it just looks breathtaking. The art team did a very good job capturing the sheer scale of this landmass. The Red Line is one of the first locations in One Piece that is much different looking than the rest. Before this, a lot of land in One Piece has a familiarity to it that is close to our real world, but further down the story of One Piece, it starts to bring more fantasy dreamlike locations out. I think the Red Line is our first true example of this. Also, in this moment, you could hear a whale sound, which is most likely Laboon. The next part of the trailer cuts to a shot of the courtyard in Logtown. This was the same location that was revealed a little while back, specifically those promotional images and videos where we meet the cast and actors for season 2. The next shot after Logtown is very brief. From how the environment looks, I would say that this is Little Garden. It must be an open field that is further away from the trees. The person running in the field looks like Luffy, but it's hard to tell. Another thing that was noticeable in the shot was a big rock in the background. This rock can definitely be the giant dinosaur bones from Dorian Broggy's competition. Also, one last thing I wanted to mention with this shot is that it seems like we're getting more open environments this season. If this is the case, then I think this is a good choice to make. Since we are in the adventure part of One Piece, I think it is a good idea to make it feel like we are exploring this vast world. Next, the camera cuts to what seems to be Zoro and Sanji exploring the jungle on Little Garden. Both of them are rocking new outfits that work well with the jungle environment. It's going to be interesting to see how the One Piece live action plays into their banter. Little Garden was definitely a big start to their rivalry. Then the camera cuts to this wide shot of Cactus Island, or better known as Whiskey Peak. They did a very good job capturing the bizarreness of how this island looks. In this shot, the town of Whiskey Peak is visible and looks a lot smaller than it did in the anime. In the live action, it looks like a small little western town. So next we see this shot of a town which I am guessing is Whiskey Peak. And from the looks of it, it seems to still keep that small western town vibe. We see the Straw Hat crew all lined up walking down the street. This must be the scene from Whiskey Peak where the people living there are giving praise and welcome to the Straw Hats. Looking closer at the people, I tried seeing if there was anyone that stood out or looked familiar. The only thing I noticed was this man with a bird on his head. I don't know if this was a side character from this arc in the anime. If he or anyone else in this shot is somebody important, then let me know in the comments. And this goes for any detail I miss in this video. Moving on, the next thing we see is this bird's eye view of a carnival that is happening at the center of Logtown. I'm really curious why there is a carnival in town. My guess is that Buggy is hosting it in the middle of the city, but it doesn't really make sense. Would he not just be captured by the Marines if he did this? It could also just be that there's a fair in town and Buggy and his crew blends into the crowd. Either way, I'm excited to see how this episode folds out. The next scene given is the part where Luffy looks up at the execution platform that Gold Roger died on. I don't know if it's just me, but I really noticed the CGI in this part. Maybe the post-production team will clean up this scene a bit, but I just wanted to mention this because it looks very plasticky. One thing that I also wanted to mention about these last few scenes is that Luffy is talking throughout them. I'm guessing these clips of Luffy's voice are from a very impactful scene that occurs in the show. What is happening in this scene? I do not know. Listening over it again, it seems like the speech is split audio from two different scenes. My guess is that the first audio dialogue is either in Logtown or when Nami gets a cold. The second piece of audio sounds like Luffy is talking on a stage since there is some reverb to his voice. Maybe it's the scene where Luffy is about to get executed by Buggy. Moving on, we then get a quick shot of Luffy looking up at this execution platform. This next scene is really exciting. It cuts to Nami and Usopp on the ship and we are given our first revealing of giants in One Piece. More specifically, Broggy. What is interesting about the giants is that it looks like they went for a fully CGI model. And honestly, I think it looks really good. At least so far from what we've seen of it. I could definitely imagine some janky CGI scenes with these characters. So hopefully it's not too bad. But so far it looks really good. I know that they hired these actors to play Dorian Broggy, but I did not expect them to go full CGI with it. From the way these actors look, I thought they were going to upscale them to be the size of giants. I'm wondering if they tried that in production and it didn't really come out right. I think one of the biggest joys from the live action One Piece is seeing how Tomorrow Studios brings these characters to life. It is very fun to see how well certain characters translate to a live action setting. I think Netflix knows this, which is why we had an entire reveal trailer for Chopper, as well as all of the casting videos that were released. Continuing the trailer, we get this next shot that is very interesting and holds a lot of hidden details. This door of a marine base is being busted open from Nico Robin. This is our first glimpse at what her powers will look like in the live action. At first glance, it is hard to see because this scene happened so fast. But if we cut to this shot right here, we can see two statues on each side of the door. The statue on the left is none other than Sengoku, the Fleet Admiral of the Marines. And the statue on the right of Robin is Fleet Admiral Kong. I forgot exactly what his position is now in the Marines, but I do know that he was Fleet Admiral before Sengoku. I thought this was a really cool Easter egg that I found. For the reason why Robin is breaking into the Marine base, I have no clue. I'm trying to think of plot points in the anime of One Piece that can be connected to this, but I'm running blank. For all I know, this could be either new content entirely or a flashback to show off Robin. Maybe a character like Vivi is explaining her to the rest of the Straw Hats. Whatever it is, I'm excited for it. The next scene is Zoro stands up ready to fight someone. My guess is that this is taking place in Whiskey Peak. It's at the moment where Zoro is the only crew member awake while the rest of them are passed out. This makes me wonder if we'll still get Luffy versus Zoro. In my opinion, I don't think we will get that entire fight, but I do think there will be a nod to it. Now, the next shot is very interesting. We get a close-up of a motorbike wheel until it pans out and we see Smoker himself. He is looking good, rocking his iconic double cigar. I'm surprised they even went for the double cigar. I'm kind of glad that they did because I think it looks really cool. On a side note, it is cool to finally see these actors wearing their attire for the characters they play. I was going to mention this for Robin, but I kind of forgot, so I'm saying it here. It then cuts to Little Garden again, where we see Luffy running through the jungle. Afterwards, it shows Sanji opening a door to what looks like a candle house. This must be the scene where Sanji first becomes Mr. Prince and talks to Crocodile on the phone. It's also cool to see these wax powers that Mr. 3 uses come to life. I know I've been saying that for almost everything with this trailer, but seeing these animated places and characters come to life is one of the biggest things I enjoy about the live action. The next shot is Nami behind a wall trying to hide from something. Not entirely sure where the scene is taking place. My guess is that it's in Logtown, but I'm still not sure. Next we cut to Usopp in the middle of the carnival at Logtown looking at something. I don't know what he is looking at, but he looks afraid of it, like he does for literally everything dangerous in this series. After, we cut to our first look at Vivi. This scene looks like it's taking place inside of Laboon at Reverse Mountain. Looking at the background behind Vivi, you can see these fleshy but also metallic walls. Vivi is also wearing her first outfit of the series, specifically her Miss Wednesday fit. It then shows off her fighting skills with these yo-yo discs. To be honest, I don't know if that's what they're called. The next scene is of Zoro in a bar fighting a bunch of people. The only time this happens in this season would have to be at Whiskey Peak, so this must be the start of that fight. Can't wait to see how they adapt this sequence in the live action because it is one of my most favorite Zoro moments in the entire series. Then cuts to Sanji fighting some clown pirates at Logtown. We see a much closer picture of this carnival area in the city. The next clip shows a lot that is going on. Zoro is in the background fighting these clown pirates. Then there's Nami doing some crazy moves, but also striking at a specific person. Looking closer at this person, I noticed that it was Alvida. They did not reveal how she looks, but I do know that the actress that plays this character did lose a lot of weight for this production. We then get Usopp shooting at what I first thought was Buggy, but when I looked closer, I realized that was not him. It was just some random clown pirate. This next clip that we get is Luffy using a Gum Gum Gatling on someone or something. I don't know what he's fighting, but there is something about this scene that I wanted to mention. Maybe it's just me, but the CGI looks really off in this scene. When I was watching it, it looks like Luffy's arms are coming out of his chest. It also seems like he is glitching out like a Gmod character. I just thought it looked really weird, so I wanted to mention it. The final clip we get is the Straw Hats entering the Grand Line. In this clip, we get our first look at Laboon. From this picture, I do have to say that Tomorrow Studios did a very good job with Laboon. The CGI looks amazing, and the sound effects are also good. After the final clip, we get a title drop, but also something even better. They have announced that Season 3 of the live action has not only been confirmed, but will be in production very soon. This is super hype, and I honestly can't wait to see it. That means that maybe we will get an early 2027 7 release for season 3. If they could keep up this pace of dropping a season every year, it would be amazing but also makes sense. If the live action team wants to reach the later parts of One Piece, they must develop a way to get a season out as fast as possible. Otherwise, the actors will get older and it will be harder to adapt. One thing I do see happening with the live action is having a different time range than the anime. What I mean by this is that there might be more months or years in between travel time for the Straw Hats. Since the anime takes place in the span of a few years, it would be hard to encapsulate that with a show that would have more than 10 seasons. So I could definitely see the live action characters being older than the anime ones. And that concludes the first trailer that we have gotten for season 2 of the One Piece live action. I was so shocked to see the trailer released today, but I am happy that it did. Apparently they dropped it because of One Piece Day in Japan. Season 2 of the live action is shaping up to be a really good time. One thing I noticed that was missing from this trailer was any showing of Drum Island or Chopper. I'm sure that they will show them off in trailers down the line, but I did think it was odd that they did not include them in any of this one. I'm really excited for the future of One Piece and the live action. I've watched the first season so many times and I'm excited to see how this next season turns out. If you enjoyed this video or want to hear me ramble about other One Piece topics, then be sure to check out the channel and toss in a sub while you're at it. I'll be covering a lot more of the live action as well as the manga. I also do want to make some channel announcements while I'm at it. If you have been following my channel for some time, first off, thank you so much. But you might have noticed that I've been gone for a while. This is because I had some personal stuff happen in my life that I had to attend to. During this time, my mic broke that I would make videos with, so I just opted out of making videos for some time. But I soon replaced my mic and I am back now. I love making videos and I really appreciate you guys for sticking through it. I'm going to continue to make One Piece content and I hope you all enjoy it. With that being said, thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video.